Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another video on Python for Excel users. In previous video, we discussed pivot function and pivot underscore table method to reshape the data and perform aggregation of data according to different filters. In this video, we will be discussing visualization of data in Panda, and for visualization of data, there is a built-in library of Panda, which is Matplot library, which is used for data visualization. And we have different visualization of data as we can visualize data in Excel, like bar chart, like pie chart, like line chart. We can also do same types of visualization in Python uh, by using matplotlib library. So to perform data visualization, we will have to import the matplotlib library, and before that we should have a data on which we want to perform data visualization. So in this video, we are going to use a CSV file. That is, we will be importing data frame from a CSV file, and then we will import the matplotlib library and perform visualization. And before performing visualization, we have to aggregate and reshape the data according to our requirement. And after reshaping that data, we can uh, prepare the graph, bar chart, line chart, or pie chart of the uh, data frame according to our requirements. So let's import the CSV file first. And to import CSV file, we will type pd for panda read underscore CSV function, import the CSV file, and inside the parentheses using quote, we will specify the path of the file from where we are going to import the file. Give a forward slash and then copy the name of the file which we want to import. And in this case, we will be using uh, we have GDP CSV file, private population, XLS file, and the population total CSV file. So let's use this file. Paste the name of the file with its extension and run this. And let's see whether we have to add the argument to specify the coding of the file. It can be imported directly. Then run this, we can see that the file has been imported, and we do not have to mention the encoding of the file. Here again, you can see that we can only see the first 5 rows and last 5 rows of the data frame, and all the rows between these rows are hidden and shown as dotted line, and the data frame contains three columns and 4,185 rows. And the data is showing year-wise population of countries. So this is the data frame. And again, in order to see the entire data frame, uh, we have to specify the parameter to show the maximum number of rows, and specify the parameter to show the maximum number of rows. We use set option display max and the number of maximum rows. So let's go back few steps to see how we use that syntax for previous tables, and we will get the syntax. Here we use the same syntax, that is panda set option display max and maximum number of rows. So we will copy that from here. We will change the maximum number of rows to the maximum number of rows of this table, which is 4185. And when we will run this, we have specified the parameter. And now when we will run this data frame, we will get the entire data frame. So let's name this data frame as population total. So the data frame has been saved in this name, which is population total. And now when we will run this, we should get the entire table. And here we can see the entire table with the scroll down option. So we have the entire table here. Now after importing the data frame, we will have to reshape the data frame according to our requirements to perform data visualization. So let's see how we can reshape this data frame. We will use the pivot option to do so. Say we want to reshape the table in such a manner that we get the years in the index and country name as column heads, and the values should be the population of countries or year-wise population of country, that is the intersection of year and country should be the population of that country in that specific year. So let's use the pivot method to reshape the data frame, and we will copy the name of the data frame and give a dot and use pivot function or pivot method, and we will add arguments that in index we want the name of the country. No, we want the years as index, and it should be same as column head, and after comma column, and column head should be the name of the country, and values should be the population. So values is equals to population and this is it. Uh, if Panda library is ran previously, then running this syntax should reshape the data, and if getting this error, it means that we have to re-import the Panda library or just rerun the step where we imported the Panda library. So let's rerun that step. So we just reran the re-imported the Panda library or reran the step where we imported Panda library, and now we can see that it's not recognizing the keywords column because its spelling is wrong. So let's correct this and see what happens. So now we have got the data frame imported and reshaped, and after getting the data frame reshaped according to our requirement, uh, we can uh, perform our visualization with it. But before that, let's rename this reshaped data frame as um, pivot population, pivot underscore population, and run this, and let's see if we get the data frame in this shape by running this data frame. So we are getting this data frame reshaped according to our requirement, and we are getting the entire data frame. Now this data frame consists of 234 columns and 18 rows, and 234 columns are representing the names of the countries, index is representing the years, and the values are the populations of respective countries. So we have saved the pivot shape of this data frame before applying the visualization, and let's narrow down this. This is a huge data to deal with visualization, so let's narrow down this data to 4 or 5 countries, uh, and to do so we will use the square bracket method to select the specific columns of the data frame. So now this data frame is named as pivot population. So we will copy the name of the data frame, and then we will use a square bracket, and inside a square bracket another square bracket, and then we will specify the names of 4 or 5 countries of which we want to visualize the population. So let's take one country, copy the name and paste inside the quotes, give a comma to separate it from the name of other country, and let's copy the name of another country, and let's the ENN. Let's give a comma, and we can see that there are more countries which are hidden, and uh, they may include Asian countries as well. So to get all the columns displayed of this data frame, let's add a cell before that, and as we previously used display max option to see all the maximum rows of the data frame, let's go back to where we used that. We use that here and copy this from here and paste it before that data frame in the new cell which we added. And this time, instead of maximum rows, set the parameter to show the maximum column, and the maximum number of columns in this data frame is 234, which we saw earlier. So just edit it to show 234 columns. When we run this, the parameter is set, and now run the name of the data frame again, and now we should be seeing all the columns of the data frame. So now let's paste another name from the data frame to the column which we are narrowing our visualization with. So we have 3 countries. Now add 2 or 3 more countries. Um, let's see, where is Pakistan? Let's copy India. Give a comma, get quotes, and paste. Let's add 1 or 2 more countries. Let's say Ireland. Copy, open quotes, paste, give a comma, and let's add 1 more country, which is Pakistan. So here is Pakistan. Just 1 more country, that is Oman. And run this. Now we have narrowed down our shaping to the 7 countries. uh, Now let's say this narrowed data frame in another data frame and say it narrowed population, use equals to sign to save it, and when we run this data frame is saved with this name, which is narrowed for just 7 countries, and we can call this data frame by using this name now. And now we will be applying visualization on this data frame. Since the original data frame was huge, so we first performed the shaping of the data frame and then narrowed the uh, shaping to few countries which can be visualized easily. So now the data frame comprises of 7 countries which whose population is shown year-wise. Uh, and now we will be performing visualization of this data frame. And to perform visualization of data frame, there is a library in Panda which is matplot library uh, in matplotlib in Panda. So we will be performing visualization with that matplotlib library. Matplotlib is a built-in library of Python, so we won't be needing to import it. And to draw the visualization of data frame, we will use plot method, and inside the plot method, we will specify the type of visualization which we want as an argument, and that type can be line, that type can be bar, or that type can be pie. So let's use the plot method, which is a feature of matplotlib library. So we will first type the name of the data frame on which we want to apply the visualization. We'll give a dot and use the plot method. And inside parentheses, we will specify the kind of uh, visualization which we want. And we will say kinds is equals to, let's say we want line chart. And when we run this, we should get the line chart, and here we have the line chart. We can say axis subplot x label is here, that is the label of x-axis is here, and y-axis its population, and the countries are shown by the colors of the line. So this is the line chart, and we can add title to this data frame. We can modify the x-axis, we can modify the heading of y-axis uh, by adding some arguments in the same syntax. So let's modify this and add a title and modify the x-axis and y-axis label. So we will have to add arguments after the type of the plot. Uh, we will give in comma, and after comma we will say that X label should be modified and it should be years, uh, which is already year, but we will again specify it as year, and now this time we will use cap capital letters for all the letters of the year, and then we will specify the label of y-axis as y label is equals to, and it should be population. So we will say y label is equals to population, and after y label we will have to specify the title, and title is equals to the title which we want for this table. And in this table we are seeing the population of countries from 1955 to 2020. So we will give the title population from 1955, population from 1955 to 2020. We all get, and after the title we will close the parenthesis and run this, and we are getting an error. So let's see the detail of the error. Uh, it's attribute error label, and it should be BEL. So let's change it, and now run this to see whether the error is rectified, and it's rectified. So we have the table. We can also modify the size of the table. Here we can see that the label of y-axis has changed, label of x-axis has changed, and title has been added. Now we can also modify the size of the visualization by using an argument which is fixed size, and so let's copy this and paste this and modify it, give a comma and use fixed size, that is figure size is equals to size of x-axis and size of y-axis, which is in uh, centimeters or inches. I think inches. Run this and we will see the size of the visualization has been changed. Similarly, we can also have bar chart or bar plot, and we can have single bar plot and multiple bar plot. Uh, Single bar plot can be applied only for a single year, and the population of countries will be differentiated by the color of the single bar. But before that, we will have to get the list of the years, which is shown in index in the original data frame, which is here. The years are being shown in index. So we will have to first get the list of the years by using index method, and we will use the name of data frame and give a dot and use index method, and here is the list of years, and now from this list, to choose a single year we will use is in method to select a single year. So we will copy the same syntax and modify it, and for adding isIn method we will enclose it in a square bracket. After the square bracket we will use index method, and we will give a dot, and after the dot we will use isIn method, open curly bracket, parenthesis, and inside square bracket we will choose any year, let's say 2015, and we will run this. We will close the square bracket. So let's see. It says the name index is not defined. So we will have to first define the index. Before index method, normally the name of the data frame is written before a dot. So let's copy the name of the data frame, and inside the square bracket we will retype the name of the data frame and give a dot, and after that dot we will use index method and isn function, and inside isn function we will use the specific year which we want from the index, and let's see whether it's displayed. Now we can see this. So we have got the population of different countries for single year, which is 2015. And now we can do the visualization of this data frame as a single bar chart. Uh, so before applying that single bar chart, let's save this single year data frame as population underscore 2015. So it's dash should be underscore, and now it has been saved in this data frame which contains the population of only 2015. When we run this, we will get this again. And now on this data frame, we can apply the single bar chart. We can also change the presentation of this table as year in the heading and countries in the index alongside their population. And to do so, we will use the pivot function. And since we are transposing columns with rows, uh, we can also use transpose method instead of pivot method. And to use transpose method, we have a syntax which is dot p, which is added after the name of the data frame. So let's copy the name of the data frame and then add dot p after that. And by using dot p method, we transpose the data set, that is, we converted the columns into rows. Now we are getting the names of the countries in index and the population of 2015 in column. So we transpose the presentation of data frame, and we can again save this presentation in with a new name which is population underscore 2015, and again it's transpose, so let's use underscore p for transpose and run this, and now it is saved with this name. And let's run this to get the output, and we have got the transposed output. Now this transposed presentation of data frame has been saved with a new name, population underscore 2015 underscore t, and now we can apply bar chart presentation on this um, set of things. So we will type the name of the data frame and then use plot method and inside parentheses specify the kind as bar. Now when we run this, we will get the population of different countries for a single year. For this visualization too, we can modify the labels of x-axis, labels of y-axis, and give title to this visualization in the same manner we performed in line chart, and we will add arguments for x labels, y labels, and title. We will copy this, and after the kind we will give a comma and specify x label is equals to country, let's say countries, get comma, y label is equals to population, and title will be population 2015. Run this to see the result, and here's the title changed. Population is spelling, and run this again. Y label population, X label countries, and we have modified the visualization labels and title. We can also get multiple bar charts or bar plot grouped by uh, variable numbers. And for getting the population for multiple years, since there are many years in the original data frame, 1955 to 2020, uh, we can get 4 to 5 years data, uh, so that the visualization does not become complex. In the same manner, we will use the index method, and then we will use agent for choosing or selecting years. So let's perform the visualization. We selected these, and let's go back to the narrowed population, and I hope I will get the same data frame of narrowed population. So these are the narrowed population of 7 countries year-wise, and from this we want to select 4 to 5 years. Uh, let's say select each decade, and for selecting each decade we will again use the name of the data frame, open square brackets, again use the name of the data frame, index attribute, and after the index attribute add is in method, and inside square bracket specify the years, and let's say the population of every decade 1960, give a comma, 1970, give a comma, 1980, give a comma, 1994, 2005, 2010, and 2020. Let's run this to see whether we get the data frame modified, and this is modified. And now again, let's save this data frame as narrowed uh, underscore decade population. Uh, it's showing the population of every decade, or uh, 60, 70 with a gap of 10 years. So let's name this data frame as narrowed decade and run this. So it's saved, and to get the data frame again, copy this new name and run this, and we get the data frame. Add few more cells, come back to this cell, and now perform visualization on this narrowed data frame. Now let's copy the name of the data frame, give a dot, use plot method, and to specify the kind inside the parenthesis, and type is equals to bar, and it is same as we performed for single bar for every country, and now we will have multiple bar for every country. And before that we performed isIn method for selecting more than 1 years, and after doing that we simply again use the plot method to generate bar chart, and when we run this we got multiple bars for every year, and due to its size we are unable to clearly see this. So And we can also modify the labels and title of this chart by adding X label, Y label, title, and again size. To copy the same index and add more arguments for X label, that is the label of X axis, and should be years, comma, Y label, uh, again spelling of X label, BEL, Y label is equals to population, comma, title is equals to let's say decade population, and string should be in quotes. Remove the parentheses. Now let's run to see the result, and we are getting the result. And increase the size, add fixed size argument, the size of x-axis and the size of y-axis. Let's run this, and positional argument follows keyword argument. Mm. Okay, fixed size is equals to 2. So the size has been modified, and now the bar chart is bit more clear, and different countries are shown by different colors for each decade year, and that's how multiple bar chart has been generated. In the same manner, we can generate pie chart for single year and pie chart for multiple year. So as we saved this 2015 data after transposing the country and year, let's perform the pie chart on the same data set or data frame. So let's copy this and run this to generate this data frame again, and now perform a pie chart visualization of this data frame. So after typing the name of the data frame, we will use plot method for pie chart. So we will copy the name of the data frame, give a term, use plot method, and inside parentheses specify the time is equal to pi and run. And pi PIE. And it's saying pi requires either y column or subplots to be equal to true. So we are getting this error because we can see that in this data frame the column head is 2015.0, which is basically integer, and it should be text, so that pie charts do not recognize it as a figure or amount. So we will have to rename this first and change this integer to text, and then we will save this data frame as in place, and after that we can apply the plot method to prepare pie chart from this data frame. So to rename the column head, uh, we will first remove this, and after the name of the data frame we will use rename method. And what are we renaming? We are renaming the column, and it should be with S, and columns should be inside curly brackets the existing name, which is a number 2015, separate it by colon. And now to give a string, we type 2015 inside quotes, so that it will be renamed from a numeric or integer value to a string, and then curly bracket is closed. And to keep this change in place, we will add an argument in place is equals to true. And now we will run this. Okay, there is double dot, so remove one dot and check what happens. It has been saved, and to check this, copy the name of the data frame and rerun this, and this time we are getting column head as its string. So we converted it, and add some more cells, and now we have our data set in our desired form. Apply Python. So now we can use plot method to create visualization with pie chart, plot, inside parenthesis, time is equals to pi. And since there is no x or y axis in pie chart because it is a pi form of presentation, so we will add an argument which should be y is equals to the name of the column, and the name of the column is 2015. So we will give 2015 inside quotes, and when we run this we should get the pie chart. And again, to modify the labels, we can add title to it, and we can add argument, add title, because there is no X label or Y label. So we will type title is equals to population of 2015, and here we got the title. And similarly, we can add further arguments to increase the size of the pie chart by using fixed size is equals to, let's say, 10 by 10, and it may give error because there is no x or y axis label, but still, since it is a two-dimensional visualization, it should work. And here we got the increased size of the image, and we can also export the data frames and visualization in other file format like Excel, JPG, or CSV files. And here we will export this visualization in JPG or as an image, and see how we can export this visualization as image. And to do so, we will now have to import matplotlly library. So to import matplotlly library, we will type import, give a space matplotlly library as pyplot, matplotlly library.pyplot as PLT, which stands for plot. So we imported the matplotlly library, and now we will use plt.savefig method, and Inside parentheses, we will specify the file name and the folder where we want to save the visualization. So let's say we want to save the visualization in this folder. So we will copy the path inside code, give another forward slash and give the file name with extension which can be img, jpg or png. So let's save this here as png and let's name it as pyplot22.png, which is the extension. Let's run this, and the code has been run, which means that it has been saved, and the file name is pyplot22. It's not plot. So let's go to the folder and see whether a file with this name appears or not. And before that, let's refresh it. And here we can get pyplot22. So we can see that we have exported the chart. Taking time. Save this again. After importing the matplot library, uh, let's introduce a new cell and run this syntax again. To generate the pie chart again, and see whether the pie chart is generated. And now let's save this pie chart. After regenerating the pie chart, I will type this plt save fix syntax again with the entire part. And now let's see whether the pie chart is saved. Blank. Delete it. Let's copy the export syntax in the same cell to see whether now it saves the pie chart or again saves the blank file. So come to this. Let's refresh this once more and see. And this time the pie chart has been saved. So in order to export pie chart, we have to use the PLT save syntax in the same cell in which we are generating the pie chart, and it should be done after importing the matplot library. And in this way, we exported the pie chart. We exported a visualization. We can export bar chart too in the same way, and we can also export data frames to Excel and other formats like Excel and CSV. To export our data frame, let's first choose our data frame which we want to export. And let's say we want to export this data frame to an Excel file. So we will copy and paste this data frame and run this to get the data frame. And now to export this, we will use a method to Excel to export a data frame to Excel. And to do so, we will copy the name of the data frame, give a dot, and use to Excel method, which is to underscore Excel. And inside parentheses, we will give the entire path of the folder in which we want to export the data frame as Excel file. We will copy it, give another forward slash, and then we will specify the name of the data frame Excel file which we want to see, and let's name it as population 2015 dot xlsx, which is the extension, and run this. The syntax is run, and let's go to the folder to see what happens. And here we have an Excel file with this name population 2015, and let's open it. And here the data frame is exported from Python to Excel. So this is the end of this video. And as well as the video series on Python for Excel users. That's all for this course. Allah Hafiz.